Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Patage Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 16 of Kishkindha Kanda. In the previous chapter, we saw Sugriva being assured by Rama came to Kishkindha and set out a great roar of war cry challenging his brother Vali to come for a fight. Meanwhile, Vali, who got enraged by the war cry of Sugriva, he was rushing towards the warfield while he was stopped by Tara, his wife, who gave him golden advice, asking him to develop a friendly relation with his blood brother Sugriva and thereby develop an alliance and live in peace. However, Wali was not ready to hear to any of her words as he is destined to meet the end of his life. Thus spoke Tara, whose face was as radiant as the moon, and Wali answered her in tones of reproach, saying, when my brother, who is above all my adversary, challenges me in anger, how shall I endure it? O lady of lovely countenance, brave who are not accustomed to bearing insults and who never turn back in battle, O timid one, would rather suffer death than such ignominy. I may not disregard the weak necked Sugriva, in fact, if you observe here, he is called as Sugriva because that means he is a strong necked, and Wali is ridiculing him as weak necked Sugriva, who, in his determination to enter into combat, has offered me so insolent a challenge. Have no anxiety on my behalf regarding Raghava, for he is conversant with Dharma and pious by nature. How could he do wrong? Return home with your companions. Why follow me further? You have demonstrated your tender devotion sufficiently. I am about to set out to fight Sugriva. Control your emotions. I shall punish his insolence, but I shall not take his life. I shall enter into combat with him since he desires it, and assailed by the blows dealt with my fists and the trunks of trees, he will flee. That coward will not be able to withstand my strength and prowess. O Tara, you have accompanied me far enough and shown your affection for me sufficiently. Now return, and I, having obtained satisfaction from my brother on the battlefield, will follow you. I swear it by my life and race. Then the virtuous Tara, embracing Wali and speaking tenderly to him, weeping, circumambulated him, keeping him on her right hand, and bidding him farewell according to the tradition, and reciting the sacred text so that he might return victorious. She re entered the inner apartments, distracted with grief. When Tara reached the inner sanctuary with the other women, Wali, distraught with anger, went out of the city, hissing like a great serpent. Full of ire, breathing heavily, he ran with all his strength, looking round on every side, eager to find his adversary. At last he beheld that powerful monkey or powerful Vanara, the golden hued Sugriva, clothed in excellent armor, full of confidence, resembling a brazier, and seeing him inflated with pride, Wali wrapped his garments more tightly about him, a prey to extreme anger, having thus girded up his apparel, his fists clenched, full of vigor, he advanced to meet Sugriva and engage him in combat. From his side, Sugriva, also doubling his fists in rage, went out to meet his brother who was wearing a crown of gold. Then Wali, addressing Sugriva, whose eyes were red with anger, who was skilled in the art of fighting and was rushing towards him in fury, said, With this clenched fist, its fingers tightly closed, I shall deal you a blow that will cause you to yield up your life. At these words, Sugriva, livid with anger, answered, "It is mine that will drive the life breath out of you by caving in your skull." Thereafter, violently assaulted by Wali, he hurled himself on him in fury, rivers of blood streaming from him like a mountain from which torrents fall. Unperturbed, Sugriva, tearing up a solar tree, struck his rival's body as lightning fells a mountain peak. Struck by the solar tree which unnerved him, Wali resembled a heavily laden ship sinking with all its cargo in the waves. Endowed with terrific strength and as agile as Suparna, both fought like two formidable giants resembling the sun and moon in the sky. Each of these two destroyers of their enemies sought to find the weak point of his enemy. Vali excelled in strength and valour, while the son of Surya, Sugriva, despite his great energy, was the weaker and his courage beginning to dwindle. He ceased to boast and, enraged with his brother, made a sign to Rama. The uprooted trees with their branches and crushed, and the blows from fish, knees and feet, fell thick and fast in the formidable struggle that resembled the duel between Rutra and Vasava, the Indra. Covered with blood, the two Vanaras dwellers in the forest, while fighting, resembled two thunder clouds clashing together with great uproar. Rama, observing Sugriva, the prince of Vanaras, exhausted, scanning the horizon without ceasing to struggle, and seeing that he was almost overcome, selected an arrow for the purpose of slaying Vali. And that great hero stretched his bow, and with that shaft resembling a venomous serpent, held it ready like Antaka bearing the wheel of time. Clanging of the browsing caused alarm among the birds who flew away, as also the wild beasts who fled in terror as at the end of the world period. Discharged by Rama with a sound like the crash of thunder, that formidable arrow of dazzling aspect pierced Vali's breast, and under its fatal impact, the powerful and valiant king of the monkeys fell to the earth, resembling Indra's banner ruthlessly thrown to the ground on the day of the full moon in the month of the constellation of Aries. Stricken and senseless, Wally fell, his voice strangled with sobs, which gradually died away. Rama, the strongest of men, discharged that formidable fiery and death dealing arrow, shining like gold, resembling time itself at the end of the world, which shot forth like smoke issuing from the flaming mouth of Hara and streaming with blood looked like unto a blossoming Ashoka tree on the mountainside, whereupon the son of Vasava, that is, son of Indra, the Swali himself, like the banner of Indra that has been overthrown, fell senseless on the field of battle. Thus ended chapter 16 of Kishkindha Kanda in Ramayana. In fact, there is lot of comments. There are a lot of criticizing against why exactly Rama killed Vali while Vali was engaged in fighting with Sugriva, because Rama stood at the in the cover of the forest without being seen by Vali, and whether such a killing amounts to the dharma. We will see a same kind of objection being made by Wali in the following chapter and in the chapter following the Rama's answer. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmira Puravasini Swamaham Prarthige Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.